Hello there. So today we're going to be going over the vase stringing, and this is a super easy, fun one color, and it just is a nice intro one. So go ahead and grab the string from your kit and get one of the ends. I like to start the knot in the air. Makes it a little easier for me personally. So you'll start with that, get your little loop, and then you're going to take your loop and you can pick any nail in this one. You're just going to tie it. And then this one, you are going to tie one more knot at least. You don't want it to come off. And then if this is a super long tail, you can kind of trim it if it's bugging you, or you can trim it at the end, or it'll just get tucked into the bottom. Either way. So that is step one, is you are just going to get your knot and make sure that it is stable. Now this one, this is how I personally like to do it, but you can do them in any order and it comes out the same. I like to go around my border just for my brain, especially with other designs where there's multiple colors. But this one, you're just gonna wrap, and you can kind of cheat and skip a whole chunk of them. And the key here is just to hold the string tight so it doesn't get loose and pop off the nails back here. Just gonna hold it tight. Your other second hand can kind of go behind you, securing the string too. And so you're just gonna go around and around. So you can go up here and up here and up here, all the way. And then I am gonna show you the entire way that I do the border, just because it's more easy to see the string now versus when it's all filled in, if that makes sense. So this is step one of that process. You're just gonna get ones all the way on the outside of the nails. Now, we're gonna go ahead and start our crisscross, and it's a 2 times around thing. So you're gonna go ahead, you can still go the same direction, but you're gonna go on the inside, outside, inside, and you can kind of wrap it around, and just going back and forth. And then when you get to these parts, to make it a tighter thing, you can kind of hold it. You're just gonna go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, all the way around. So this is the first part of your X. This part when I was showing you, I didn't do it tight enough. There it goes. You just go back and forth, crisscross, crisscross. And then later, you will see how we form the X when we do the second pass. It'll be the crisscross going the opposite direction. So it'll end up being an X between each set of nails. See how I'm doing it every now and then, I'll loop it around. You can do it for every single one if you want, but you do not have to. So it's totally up to you. Okay, so there we go, all the way around. That was step 2. And then if you go around a third time, still doing that same crisscross, you see now it looks like an X all the way here compared to just here. And you're just gonna do this all the way around again. And so this is 3 out of 4 for the border. And these steps usually will go at the end if you want it to look like a crisp outline. Or sometimes I'll just do the outside pass one last time after I've done the middle. That is also a possibility. Let's see, here we're gonna go around. Almost there. It's kind of fun seeing the X come out though. And there we are. So now we've gone 3 times around. And then for the 4th pass, we're gonna go on the inside border. And again, this just makes it a super thick line that defines the shape. In this case, we're doing the vase. So it just defines the vase shape for you. And I think it looks crisp, but it is technically optional, especially if you're doing this with kids. It definitely still looks fun without doing all of this, but I just kind of like it. It's just a personal preference. And because it's string, you can technically unwind it if you want to try it both ways. And then, if you're feeling really tricky, you can technically do all 4 of these passes in one go. So basically think a figure 8. So up here, maybe we'll wrap them around securely because this is where our flowers are going to go in between. So to give it some extra security here, so it doesn't pop off when we're adjusting our flowers for each season. I think this is a super fun one. Just so cute. Okay, this one, this one. Round and around we go. And that is our border. Pretty cute, huh? It's just fun. And then actually some people just leave it like this. So technically if you put one of your flowers through and you wanted an empty see-through, glass look, you could. Again, these are all your options. You can always try it and then add some string after. Now we're gonna do the middle part, and this is completely up to you. There is no real pattern. I know that sounds kind of scary, but there is no actual pattern. You don't have to go to, okay, nail 1 to nail 40. That's too much thinking, and for me personally, it takes the fun out of it. So I'll do a combination of passes. Sometimes I'll start like this, where I just kind of go back and forth, and you can even turn this sign as you go too, if that's easier. And you'll have not the full string. I forgot to wind a little bobbin that you guys have in the kits, but it would definitely be easier than this big ball of yarn. Come on now. Anyways, so you're just gonna go back and forth, filling it in. And as you go, you can sort of push down on the layers, and that'll end up giving you more room. Just for this one, don't push it all the way to the wood, because you want to make sure that there's room for the flower stems that you're going to be using. So if you can see right here, you want it to kind of have some space, make it a little easier, but you'll figure it out. Luckily, it's not rocket science. It's just fun crafting. I'm just going to keep going and going. Especially if you're doing with kids, you do not have to go in a neat, nice pattern at all. Just let them go crazy. Worst case is you unwind it. See right here, let's go down this way, change the direction. Just keep going and going. You can skip a nail every now and then. You can wind it around, wrap it around the nail. Back and forth. See, so this is the fun part where you just kind of play. You don't have to worry about where it's going. You can always unstring it. Do it again. And also, if you're in the middle of it and need to take a break, don't worry. It's not going anywhere. It'll just stay right there and it'll be fine. So if you ever need to walk away mid crafting. And then the other part that I like to do is go kind of crazy all over the place. And I'll do wild directions all over, switching it. And this will be a combination of the back and forth, and the wild crazy all over. Let's just do. So right here, you can kind of push it down on the few that are going to be used a lot. You're just going to keep on keeping on. And this is all you have to do for your entire vase. And then when you're all done, you're just going to tie another knot, which was the very first thing that we did in the beginning. And you're just going to keep going and going and going and going. So now that you've finished, just check and see if there's any kind of empty spots that you don't like. And then, like I was telling you in the beginning, this is how it looks. If you want, you can go around one final time on the outside if you want it to try and look a little bit more clean, I guess, a little more even. And you just do that final little border all the way around. Hold it tight, especially because when you get to the end of all the stringing, that's usually when the string will pop off more than compared to the beginning. Because now the nails are full. See, like right there. Come on now. Almost there. All right. So I hope you had fun stringing. Hopefully you didn't, get stressed out or have any problems. If you did, you can always message me and I would love to help walk you through any part that is confusing. Since I've been doing this for a while, it's hard sometimes for me to know what everyone needs help with. But here we go. And like I said, the last step is you're going to, if you have a lot of extra string, make sure you give yourself enough to cut and tie. Give yourself enough room to tie a knot a few times. So then again, any nail you can stop at. I'm just going to stop down here and I tie the little loop in the air. Then I put the circle, put my finger and I trap it. And then I do it one. Usually for the end one, I'll do it 3 times just because that's me. And then if you get this little tail, again, just trim it. Leave about 1/4 to 1/2 inch. Oh, come on. Okay, just so it doesn't unravel. And then you can use your fingers, or I like to use my scissors, but fingers can work too. Scissors or anything to poke it in. And you are done with the stringing part. Then what you can do, I have a friend that makes felt flowers, but another fun thing, you can just go to Hobby Lobby or Michael's and you just kind of put it through however you like, just to make it all cute and festive for you hanging up on your wall and get some greenery. And again, this is going to be super fun because you can put in, if you're gifting it for Mother's Day, you can put in some spring flowers, and then throughout the year even, you can continue to gift her little floral bouquets so that she can switch it up throughout the year. So here, I'm not very good at arranging stuff. That is actually one of my mom's fortes as well. She's the crafty one. She gets all the credit. So here we go. I don't know where I want this one. Anywhere works really, but you get the picture. And then you organize it and make it beautiful. But there we go, our little string art vase. And I hope you had fun. Again, let me know if you had any questions.